Doing mass Wintertodt is quick and easy, but if getting the maximum amount of rewards or pet chance is your goal, then soloing Wintertodt is the way to go. Soloing Wintertodt produces notably more crates per hour. Once you get a hang of doing solos, you can get 28 crate rolls per 50 minutes. If you were doing mass Wintertodt in the same amount of time, you would only get 23 crate rolls. Now, there is a trade-off to this, of course, as solo games provide a significantly less amount of XP per hour than you would get massing. But you also do get more construction XP when doing solos as well. Requirements for doing solo Wintertodt is the same as you're doing mass, but if you're unsure of what those are, I'm going to go over them now. You need 50 firemaking in order to do Wintertodt in the first place, and this is unboostable, so you should reach it before watching any of these guides. Another requirement for solos is the completion of the quest Druidic Ritual, which unlocks the Herblore skill. This is optional for masses, since we can rely on other people to do it, but when completing solos, this is required as we're going to need to be able to make rejuvenation potions to heal the down pyromancer. In order to receive construction XP from repairing braziers in the minigame, you need to own a player-owned house. While it's not technically required to have, it's pointless to not buy a house for 1k in order to get free XP in construction. Now, that's it for requirements, but there is 2 optional skill levels as well. The first is 60 agility in order to cross the gap in the back of the minigame. This saves time as you don't have to run all the way around in a U shape to light both of the top braziers. Lastly, having 22 prayer will allow you to use rapid heal in order to get some more life regen. Additionally, at level 49 prayer, you're going to unlock redemption, which you can use in emergencies in case you run out of food. Now that you know the skill requirements for completing solos, let's go ahead and look at the gear setup. Since it's Wintertodt we're dealing with, warm clothing is going to have to be worn. There's multiple different items classified as warm items for every equipable slot in the game. The full list can be found on the wiki, which I'll link in the description. What each person wears will vary on their account, but the staple of warm clothing is most obviously going to be full pyromancer and torch. If you don't have the outfit already because you haven't done Wintertodt before, you can opt into whatever you see fit. A very popular warm clothing combination is the Clue Hunter 1 outfit, which can be dug up around the world. Additionally, you can slot in pieces of Graceful in open slots if available, as this can help with running around the room at the start of the fight. If you find yourself struggling in that area, I'd recommend to wear 4 pieces of warm clothing, and then wear as much Graceful as you can to help with this. The regen bracelet can be worn in the glove slot and helps with staying alive as it grants extra health regen. This effect stacks with the same effect found on the hit points cape, so if you have 99 HP, you can wear both of these for a great health regen boost, which makes it so you don't need to bring as much food. Now for your inventory, you're always going to want to bring a hammer and knife, then bring the best axe you have, but really anything above steel works. If you have a Brumatorch, then the axe will be in your inventory since the torch acts as a tinderbox and is equipable, but if you don't have a Brumatorch, equip the axe and instead put a tinderbox in your inventory. Lastly, we just need food, which is going to vary depending on what your HP level is. Because of how Wintertodt damage scales based off of your maximum HP, the higher HP you are, the better food items you will need. Anything below 40 HP can get away with bringing about 8 cakes, but obviously if it's your first time doing solo Wintertodt, bring more food than you think you're going to need, as you're probably going to mess up. If you're a little higher HP, like 40 to 60, you can get away with bringing Karamwans or sharks instead of cakes, but in the high HPs, you're going to want to start taking Ceridome and Brews. To be safe with your first attempt, I would bring about 9 Cera Brews, but if you're 99 HP, you can actually get away with bringing less brews since you can use the hit points cape stacked with a regen bracelet and get HP faster. Personally, since I do have 99 HP and bring the cape, I bring about 4 to 5 Ceridome and Brews and don't usually use them all either. So I guess all that leaves for us to do is actually do the minigame itself. So as you can see here, I'm currently outside Wintertodt, which you can get here by just using a games necklace to the Wintertodt camp. If you just run north to the doors after you have your inventory ready and right click peek, you can see if the world you're currently on has anybody in it. It looks like this world is currently free since it says there's nobody in it and it's at 100 HP, so we can go ahead and enter. So upon entering the minigame, this little starter area is actually safe and you're not going to take any damage, and you're going to want to take about 5 of the concoctions, and these are to heal the down pyromancer. Once you have these, you're ready to start, and your first priority is to run around in a square, lighting every single brazier, because we're trying to make sure that the Wintertodt energy goes from 100 to about 10%. If you don't have 60 agility, you're going to have to do one side and then do the other. Now, while you're running on the opposite side, this would be a good chance to pick your Bruma herbs, as you need to mix them with the potions to make the rejuvenation potions, but I actually opted to run back to the starting area because since they're all lit and that Wintertodt energy is ticking down, we're just going to AFK a little bit. I was AFKing in the beginning, and you see in the top left that one of the braziers broke, so I'm going to go repair it and then relight it and then just wait more. So I had to go repair the brazier again, but as you see, the pyromancer actually died, and that's why I said it would probably be smart to get the herbs while you're running by. But as you see, I'm just going to run to the herbs, which are on each wall on each side of Wintertodt, and I'm going to pick 5 since that's how many potions I got. Then you simply just use the herb on the empty potion, which will make a rejuvenation potion, and you can just use on the pyromancer. So now that you know how to heal the pyromancers and how to just repair all the braziers, we're just going to be running in a square, making sure they're all lit, just so we can make that energy go down faster. The more braziers you have lit, the faster it does go down. That's why we're trying to make sure they're all lit. But eventually, when it gets to around 30%, you can just start cutting an inventory of wood and just manage the bottom 2 braziers, running back and forth, fletching in between. After you've fletched a full inventory, you can go ahead and burn it all at a brazier. If when you finish the HP is still above 10, you can go ahead and light a second brazier, and now the rest of the minigame is just a loop. Keeping the HP around 5 to 8%, you're going to just chop and fletch logs, burning them in the brazier. You'll have to revive the pyromancer when he dies and repair the brazier when it breaks or to reignite it. When you see the snow above the brazier about to fall, you can step 1 tile away to avoid the damage. If the HP is getting too low, around 2 to 3%, you want to make sure not to relight the brazier so it can regenerate health. Otherwise, if you let the brazier burn too much, it will end the game early. Other than that, the only mechanics left to deal with is the 3x3 snowfall attack, which you can just step away from. A quick tip that can speed up your runs a considerable amount is using a potion on the pyromancer before he dies, as each time you use the potion on him, it will heal him for 5 out of his total 14 HP. But if you use the potion on him when he's dead, it will heal him directly to full HP. So if we use multiple sips on him to heal him, you'll get double or triple the amount of points you would from just reviving him. Going this route uses a lot more potions though. Once you've been fletching and burning logs and get to around 12k points, you can think about ending the game. The maximum amount of reward points you want is 13.5k, as anything beyond that will not grant additional rewards. You'll want to start continuously making sure the brazier is lit while fletching during this phase, so you can make sure to bring the HP lower and lower as you get near the 13.5k mark. It's not a big deal if you go over, and if you do, you can just run back and forth, lighting each brazier until the game finishes. So as you can see, I'm above 13.5k points and I finished the game, which has completed. I get my additional 9.9k XP and a kill count of 449. As you see when I click to open the crate, it says that I need to have 28 inventory spaces open, and this is how you know you did the minigame correct. All I'm going to do is run outside and run to the bank, deposit everything in my inventory, and get the crate back out. All you have to do is click it, hit space, and then press 1 to open it, and as you can see, I just got 28 reward items, and I even got a pyromancer garb. Unfortunately, this time I did not get the phoenix pet, but if you were to just keep at this consistently, you would get way more rewards than you would doing masses. Anyway, with that being said, that's actually going to be everything that I need to cover for solo Wintertodt. I'm sure there's other additional tips and you can make sure to check the comments for those, but if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.